every Marvel movie is basically the same thing. It's just the execution is slightly different in all of them, but it's basically follows the exact same formula. He's right, and this is the same for the gaming industry, and it's sad in some cases, because once you sort of see it, you can't unsee it, because the games are giving us less and less and less. Not every game needs to be a franchise, by the way. Ghost of Tsushima as a standalone, excellent game. Didn't really need a sequel.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
I'm just of the mindset now that when you get something successful, guys, you got to make something of it. It's very rare in this day and age for something to just be a success and then left alone. Usually when something is a bona fide failure, it gets left alone, and then we never see or hear from it again. But it is so rare these days for there to be a successful standalone product that doesn't turn into something bigger, because that's the life cycle of being. It's like you either fail and you get forgotten, or you succeed and succeed and succeed, and then you succeed too much and then you fail monumentally.
I have another theory about that, because being that I'm old as hell and I was around in the 1980s, there were so many new IPs being thrown out in the 1980s. It was just throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. You didn't have what you have now. As you came into the 90s and the 2000s, you had like sort of a trilogy syndrome with everything had to be a trilogy. Everything had to be a trilogy. Now we're coming into, the 2020s. Everything either has to be a remake or everything has to be an expanded universe. And what that is I think as creativity erodes, you have less options. So everything is sort of milked for everything it's worth, because nobody has more than one good idea. And that's unfortunate.
Even the concept of creativity, and I'm only speaking in regards to the Western world, because I think we have this problem far bigger than any other part of the world. And it really reminds me of learning from the past, like the Soviet Union in the 80s. It's just we've run out of ideas. Our leaders are too old. To paraphrase an Orange Man, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We just don't, right? And that is a great example, whether it's politically, socially, culturally, or in terms of pop culture. The existing system has been around for too long. We need a breath of fresh air. We need new ideas. I mean, you look at gaming. You look at the video game crash, right? Before the video game crash, Atari was leading the way, and all the others were trailing behind. After the video game crash, an entire industry got wiped out. And if it wasn't for Sega and Nintendo, gaming would have been a fad that was here today, gone to tomorrow. And that's why, folks, if you want to
the game crash is a myth.
Well, I like spreading myths.
Well, it's like it happened the very previous year that Nintendo came out with their console. So there's no gap in between, and also the companies that crashed, they're all of them are American. Like nothing happened with Europe or Japan. I think it's a story that's built to just make Nintendo look better.
Come on. Americans love inventing stories because it gives them importance.
Don't say that too loud. Nintendo will sue you. They love to sue people. They're like, how dare you? Sue!
And that's how you know it's a fake story.
And that just goes to show, especially with Nintendo's new CEO, who is not just a female, that's bad enough, but a lawyer too. It's like, what's going on?
Oh, Lord.
This is Kathleen Kennedy has grown a brain and has taken over Nintendo. This is terrifying. But in all seriousness, folks, it's this mindset of the current institutions are failing because they've run out of ideas. But we live in an age where they're too powerful to simply fall apart. We're not dealing with something that's so big it has to fail. It can still sustain itself, even in this chaotic world. But now we're getting to a point where it's not that we're running out of ideas. It's just great ideas don't get the recognition they deserve because of existing entities just piling on the pressure. Nintendo's a a fantastic example. You look at Sucker Punch, right? Their name embodies their company now more than ever because they're going to get sucker punched. Sony is just going to. Sony is the kind of company where if you just fail them, they will rip you to pieces and just eat you. They did that with Bungie because of the Marathon disaster. And, you know, Bungie has been on an insane trajectory. How do you go from being on the edge of financial collapse to Microsoft saving you, to leaving Microsoft and giving them Halo, to being on your own again with Destiny, to then get bought out by Sony, to then be eaten up by Sony? It's
called bad leadership.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's a classic example of this infestation I'm talking about. You know, look at Slay. Look at Slay's character, right? This guy is a corpse, okay? This guy is a corpse cartoon character, yet he finds a way to make it work. That is creativity. This corpse cartoon who can't get his wife pregnant because he can't get it up, because he's a corpse cartoon. What do you think, Slay?
I think that well, not to talk about what you just said,
but so inspiring that Slay is lost for words, folks. It's so inspiring.
I think that parody and satire are a very important weapon in fighting against this kind of thing going on in the industry. Because I mean, just look at the Yasuke Simulator game and how much attention it got, and how it went against, you know, the whole AAA pushing, the whole industry pushing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it pretty much, like, you know, it made fun of it, but it made a great shitty game. Like, it's not that great of a game, but it was fun, and it's more fun.
It would be
than
like
playing
making
Assassin's
Mario instead of Mario, and then you get sued, and then you get wiped out. But I think it's very important. I think it's very important, though, guys, to realize that the landscape is constantly shifting, and that's the great danger. Because if things get too unstable, it'll all fall to pieces. What was that, Slay?
I was gonna say we should develop a side-scroller Mario knockoff with dignified cartoon gentlemen jumping around.
Yes.
Who would be the enemy?
Jumping on Israelis.
No. No, because I'll blow up. Well, speaking of Israelis, Rhoda, what do you make of everything we've just said?
Well, it's kind of, I can only really rephrase it. When an idea gets too big, it gets spread too thin. It loses its, for want of a better term, it loses its soul, because too many people have to be involved. And like anything artistic, the fewer people involved, the better. Like the best bands have 4 people in them, not 8 people. Yeah, there needs to be one creative vision. And once you've got an expanded universe, you don't have one creative vision. You have loads of little branches, and they all start contradicting each other, and then they have to do something to stand out, which is normally make some kind of socio-political point, which turns a fraction of the fan base against you, and then that happens all over the franchise, all these little fractions turning against you, and then suddenly you've not got a franchise anymore. Nobody's interested in your shit, and it's dead.
You know, I think the Halo trilogy, apart from, you know, the plot losing itself towards the end of that, is a fantastic example. It's like, take on aliens, twist, parasite aliens, gotta blow up the ring. Then Halo 2, fight the aliens, take on the parasite aliens, the big aliens split up, you gotta survive. Halo 3, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, but people like Halo, so they're gonna like it. And then Halo 3 ODST. We did it because fuck it. That's why. And then Halo Reach. We're going to explain how all of this happened so that 343 don't fuck it up. And then that's Bungie's Halo, and people love it. Well, they love most of it. And I'm using Halo as an example because I've played it recently. It's fresh in my head. Then you've got what 343/Halo Studios did. right? They remastered everything because they actually need to learn how to do something with games development. Although they didn't actually do that, they outsourced it to different companies, including Saber, which is very interesting. Then they make Halo 4. Here's this new bad guy. Kill him. Okay. Then they made Halo 5, which was to Halo what The Last Jedi was to Star Wars. And then they left it alone. And then they made Halo Infinite, which is a perfectly fine game. But they ruined it with the Halo TV show and this weird multiplayer, multicolored crap. And what's the future of the Halo franchise? As I said with Silent Hill F, it's fucked. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, nice 20-minute topic that I can split up into 2 10-minute videos. Oh, look, diversity. A black dog, a brown dog. Diversity, yay. There we go. And it doesn't have a tail for some reason. You weren't that hungry, were you, Jose?
No. They say that boxers, you're not. It's recommended to remove their tail because it gives them a lot of back pain when they get older. So just give them a nub. You nub them when they're young.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
that's
an actual thing.
yeah, it's the same thing with my dog. I got a Australian Shepherd, and that's one thing they recommend is that if you get like shepherd dogs, you have to nip their tails off so that when they're herding like the cattle and everything, they don't accidentally step on the tail.
Yeah. I like how everyone is just stone silent. It's just great.
That's because I was speaking through a mute microphone.
Oh, I thought we were just all learning about dogs.
Oh, I thought that. So in other words, you got hit by a dose of karma for mocking Rhoda at the beginning of the show. For not.
There we go.
Karma is Indian blasphemy created by people who don't wash their hands and make curry where they shit. Okay, folks? But in all, look, folks, we're just going to edit that out of a timestamp. But I was going to say 37 minutes and 10 seconds. We're now going to put it to 38 minutes and 10 seconds.
Disgusting, tangent kings of new age. A story sing disgusting.